So, you want to vlog your boring life. You want to do what my cat did in a day videos. Yeah, that'd be fun. Thanks for the entertainment. Well, you're gonna need a camera for that, and I may or may not have found the... Don't judge me. So in this video, I want to explain why I think, in my opinion, the Sony X3000 is the best vlogging camera of all times. I love it. I love it so much. It has a couple quirks that we'll get into later, but I'm gonna go break down everything you would want to know as somebody holding this camera, vlogging. What does it look like? What's the audio like? Is the mic jack usable? How's the stabilization, the wide angle, all the features? Let's get into it. So the camera I've been using for the past couple months is the Panasonic G85 with a 25mm f/0.95 lens for that cinematic blurry background. I love that camera, and we will compare them in this video. I love it, but for handheld work, going out around town, ridiculous. You can't do it. I actually saw a girl, I was vlogging with this camera in the mall the other day, and I see this girl with her Casey Neistat setup, with her little bendy tripod and a huge Canon camera, and I'm like, your day wasn't that exciting to need that camera. There's no way your day was that fun. That is such a hassle. You don't need these huge cameras. This thing is so tiny. It fits in my pocket. You can automatically start it. You press record and it starts, and then you bring it out and you're filming. You don't have to do nothing. It just starts up with your last setting. So I know it's in my pocket. Boom, press record, done. I don't miss anything. If a tiger attacks me, I can film it. So we'll get into all the features that I love and the couple things that I don't like, but first let's compare it to a professional mirrorless camera, and that is the one you're looking at right now, the G85 with that blurry background. So you can barely even tell that that is me in the background. See that? That's me. That's me. Can't even see it. But look what I have to do. You seeing this ridiculousness? How far this thing sticks away from my body. Imagine doing this in a crowded place. Oh, sorry. Sorry about that. No, I know. It hit your head. Nothing I can do. I'm making a video here. It's about my cat. Whereas this thing, you see everything in the background. And sometimes you want that. When you're vlogging in public, give people something else to look at. Nobody wants to look at your face all the time. They want to see fun things in the background happening. And that is what this is for. So in really good light, this camera is somewhat comparable to this one. It's not like a world of difference. In fact, you can see side by side, we're at the green screen, full light. I mean, this one looks better, higher detail. They're both shooting in 1080p right now. And there's not a huge difference. It's when the light goes down that you can see a huge difference. And we'll do a low light test outside at night later on. Here's the Panasonic with my soft boxes turned off. So now it's just the natural light coming in from the window. And this is what the Sony looks like. So the quality goes down because the sensor is tiny. It's got a tiny micro sensor, and there's nothing we can do about it. But I will say this, for YouTube videos, no one gives a shit if your image is a little grainy. As long as your audio sounds pretty good and you see things are in focus, I mean, it's not a huge deal. Nobody needs this perfect cinematic look every time. Relax. Let's see what the difference is on the green screen. So we got the Panasonic G85 on the right and the new Sony X3000 on the left. Now the only difference, obviously, that you'll be able to see is how much of my body is in focus here. You have such a small amount of body, it's pathetic. I don't need much body to feel love for myself. That what your mom told you? Yeah, it is actually. She said that I'm important. Look at you. You aren't. You suck. You're not important. One of the annoying things with the G85, because I chose the 50mm lens, is I'm so far away from it. I'm so far away. So right now, I can't be at my computer. I can't even reach the mouse. I have to be like here, and that's pushing it. I know I'm not in focus anymore, But then it's just like my head, basically, which some of my best videos are just the head on other people's bodies. Nothing wrong with that. But this one I could do more, and I can do full body stuff. So running around, if you saw my vlog the other day where Kent was unfortunate enough to get hit by a car, that's because he used the green screen, full body, because of this camera. I could not do that with this camera, even if I wanted to. 50mm lens, you piece of shit. Is it perfect for every situation? No, it is not. It's not very flattering for food. Here we have some basmati rice, maybe even a little purple onion and broccoli. I think I see a zucchini in there. It's not very flattering, is it? Compare that to the G85, which is just cinematic blurry goodness. Oh my god, as we hover over the onion patch. Delicious, blurry food. So let us go outside, and I will show you why this camera is the one camera that rules over them all. Like that ring in the movie, the Matrix. There's no ring in the Matrix. Okay, so this is what it looks like outside. We got the Sony X3000 here, and now the G85. So I got them both handheld. So you can see the G85 got that blurry background going. That's so wonderful. Whereas this one, it's just like everything is in focus, no matter what. You see the cars behind me? Watch, here's the car behind me. Watch, here's the car behind me. It's just much more exciting to look at. So let's do a little stabilization test. So this is the Panasonic G85 just walking, and it actually has really good stabilization. It has in-body stabilization. The lens doesn't have it. So it's actually pretty smooth. If I run though, I'm not sure. Let's run. How smooth is that? Now here's the Sony. First I want to play a clip of the Canon G7X and its stabilization. So that's what I was using first. So play that clip now. Hello, my friend. Figured I'd take you along on my walk, make a little video, even though I feel like an idiot. Not that there's any people near me, so it's all good. It's all good. That was on this same street. I'm sorry for this lawnmower guy, but compared to this stabilization, how smooth is that? And if I run with this one, it's so stable. So it's fun. I love it for the stabilization. It's not as good as a gimbal. Can you hear the wind? I got a filter on it. It's very windy right now. So it's not as good as a gimbal, obviously, but this thing fits in your pocket. It's tiny. You can't carry a gimbal in your pocket. You have to have that in your bag. You're gonna miss the shot. This is just so spontaneous. And compared to the GoPro, there's so many videos comparing this camera to the GoPro, but the stabilization on this is far superior. And on the GoPro, the stabilization doesn't work in 4K, and it doesn't work in slow motion. So this stabilization always working, and it is very smooth, as you can see. I always film in 1080p because my computer can barely handle the 4K, but let's just do a quick clip in 4K to see the difference, and I'll zoom in the background. That's the only thing you'd really need it for. Nobody gives a crap about seeing every pixel in my face. My face is made of pixels. I didn't even know that. So this is 1080p. We'll zoom into the back. Now compare it to 4K. Okay, now we're in 4K, so let's zoom into the background. And we'll see side by side if there's any detail, any reason to switch to 4K. Is it worth the hassle? I don't know. So let's talk about the audio quality. The actual in-camera mic, oh my god. The actual camera microphone is pretty good. You need to get a wind filter for it, because the wind is blowing right now. I don't know if you can hear it. Hopefully it helps. but I've noticed a big difference. It's not as bad. If I removed it right now, you'd cry. You would cry. So the actual camera's pretty good. Let's test it with the internal wind filter on, which makes it sound super tinny, but it does help additionally with the wind, so compare that to this. So this is with the digital wind filter in camera. I don't know how it does it. I think it just cuts out the lower frequencies, but it just makes it sound so tinny, and it's really blowing right now, so it's not worth it to me. You need to get this little wind filter. Now, one of the main reasons I got this camera was because it has a mic jack, and right now I have my lav mic plugged into it, but it's so loud. I don't know if it's just my lav mic. In fact, I tested one other lav mic and it was quieter, but this one, no matter where I have it, it's on my sleeve right now and it clips. It's too loud. So it's a problem. You'll have to test it out for yourself. Okay, so this is with my regular mic. Okay, so this is the Audio-Technica 3350. How does it sound if it's near my voice? So this is my regular mic in the camera store. Let's try the Video Mic Pro. So this is the Rode Video Mic Pro. Very close. You can probably see it in the frame. It's such a wide shot. It's unfortunate. I don't know why the internal preamps are so loud on this camera, and there's no way to adjust the volume. So it's pretty, it sounds okay, but you'll have to post-process it because everything will just be spiking through the roof. So it's usable, and it's a very compact, it's a very compact setup to have really good audio. If you can get a good lav mic, it's just like the ultimate tiny solution to your problems. So let's test the slow-mo. So this is 1080p 60p, and I just want to show you this to see what it looks like slowed down 40%. Now we're filming at 1080p 120 frames per second. Now this is 720p at 240 frames per second. So you can see as the frame rate rises, it gets a little worse quality each time, and it gets darker. You need so much light for good slow motion footage. But it's not the highest quality slow-mo, but it is fun to use. So I love it. Last thing I want to test outside, this camera has 3 angles basically. You're looking at the wide angle right now, where everything is in focus. Then it can zoom in a bit. And I want to see what the difference is between that zoom or if I was to zoom this footage in after in post. So let's compare them. So this is the medium view. So if we compare that to zooming in the wide view to replicate the, you know what I'm saying. What looks better? So compared to the wide footage zoomed in, ridiculous. This is ridiculous. So what looks better, this zoomed in camera, or zoomed in after with the wide angle? You know what I'm saying? One more thing I'll show you is the picture profile. This is natural, and I'll switch to vivid. And the reason I don't film in vivid, because it makes my face look red. It makes all the color is more saturated and bright. So we'll switch now. So this is vivid. So everything back there looks better, but I look like I have heart disease, and that's not the look I'm going for. So I don't film in this, and if I want to increase the colors, I can do that after in post-production. Okay, now this is a very silly reason to love a camera, but I love the sound of the menu. I don't know why, they're very relaxing. It's music to me. That's just like a beautiful song. Thank you, Sony, you're so wonderful. So when you buy this camera, you have two options. You can get it with the live view remote, which is like a wrist screen so you can see what you're recording. I didn't get that because I figured the angle is so wide. If you point this thing in the general direction of what you want, it's gonna get it in the shot and more and more. But if you need, you can always use your app. I'll just show you, it's pretty easy if you want to use the app. You just download the Play Memories app. You go in, once you set it up initially, it's like automatic, it just connects. So boom. It can be a little laggy at times, but there you go. So you can see what I see. Oh my god, there's sight in sight. Oh my god. That is pretty cool. Wow, look at that. So yeah, now I can tell exactly what is in shot. And yeah, I mean, this will take so much more battery to use the Wi-Fi, so I don't even bother with it. You know, you're in shot. Even if you're so close, it does distort your face, so you'll have an extra long nose. So it's not the most flattering thing, but the volume will sound really good. And that's one of the reasons this mic is so good, because you can hold it here and you're right there. You're right there. I'm so close to the mic. Boom, right there. Whereas my other camera is more like way out here. Just to give you an idea of how different these cameras look when at the exact same point, I'm gonna put the Sony on this tripod. So this is the Panasonic G85 with a 50mm equivalent lens. It's the next day, my mustache is gone. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. So I'm gonna put the Sony on this tripod at the same distance. Watch how different it looks. And here's the Sony. You are so far away from me right now. Everything is so wide. I can't even touch you. I can't even reach you. I tried. So that's what that looks like. And just in case you were curious, how much does the camera weigh? 114 grams. That's with the wind filter, which weighs nothing. Compare that to my Samsung Galaxy S4, 155, so it's lighter than a smartphone. And compare that to the G85. Oh my, 736 grams. Alright, let's do a low light test. What do you do? In bad light, here's my regular camera, the G85 Panasonic. And this is my little guy. So little and cute. Imagine not the best. Here's where I'm away from light. G85. Hey, look at me. Little Sony. Sorry for the cars. Thought I was on a quiet street. So, just so you can see what the difference would be. G85. Sony. How you doing, Sony? So this is at ISO 6400. This is as light as I can get it. And that versus the Sony, I know this one probably looks all dark and this one looks all bright. And just to test it in really good light, here's the Sony. Oh my god, Sony. And here's the Panasonic G85. That is really bright. Oh my god. Interesting. I just realized that the Sony camera actually has an exposure compensation setting. So I just raised it as high as it can go. So comparing that to the G85, which is at 6400 ISO, and we're at f0.95 and the shutter speed 50. So This is as bright as the G85 can get, and this is the Sony. I'm in a pitch black room, and I just have my computer monitors on. So that's the only light. So there's the last low light test. So in conclusion, it's the most fun I've ever had with a camera. Most cameras, they get you the shot you need, but this thing being so small and the angle being so wide, it's just it's a fun camera. I'm a comedy channel here. I want to make you laugh. I want to make you happy. And it's not the most flattering image, but it is the funniest. Because when I'm walking and I do weird shit, I couldn't do this on my other camera. What a shame. I think we're done here. Let me know if you have any questions about the camera. Post them down below. And if I can think of anything else. The only negative, the battery door is a little weird, but if you don't open it very often, it should last. But it is kind of wonky, and it fits in a little weird, but you get used to it. Alright, I think we're done here. Thanks for watching. Thumbs up if you like the video. Thumbs down if you have a GoPro and you hate Sony. You're gonna burn down all Sony buildings and film it with your GoPro. GoPro sucks compared to this. The mic isn't as good. The stabilization is shit. The colors, maybe the colors are equal, and the GoPro is more of a fisheye effect. This is still wide angle, but less of a fisheye. That annoying circular everything. Although somewhat. It makes you have long arms. There's nothing wrong with that. So yeah, I researched and I went with the Sony instead of the GoPro because it had all the features I liked. Better mic input, stabilization. It's cute. It's cuter. So we're done here. Subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you in the next one.